What's up and welcome back to another video. My name is Miles Away. Now today, I'm gonna compare these two amazing pedals right here, the Meris LVX and the Meris MercuryX. Now, I've been getting a lot of questions about which one should you get, and the answer is, it's really not that simple. At the end of the day, if you just want my thoughts, it comes down to whether or not you prefer delay or reverb more as a starting point, because both these pedals are all about building from those starting building blocks. So for today, grab a beverage of your choice, get comfortable. It's gonna be a long one, an informal video, but we're gonna run through different audio examples and then finally a full song through each of these pedals, checking out some presets, designing some sounds, and let me know in the comments below which one you like more. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoy. Please subscribe and like if you enjoy this video, and let's get started. All right, here are the pedals. Let's run some audio through them. I'm gonna start off with this really beautiful piano progression, and then we'll move to guitar, synth, and lastly, all three together. So let's start off by enabling the LVX. Now at its core, the LVX is a very, very powerful modular delay system. What that means is essentially, although you can do similar style sounds to reverb, really you're going to be using delay as your building block and building sounds from there with different sound modules, modulation, different modifiers. The MercuryX, on the other hand, if we enable it here, is a reverb pedal at its core. And what that means is that although just like how the LVX can do things similar to a reverb, the MercuryX can do things with the pre-delay that can really, get you some classic delay sounds. At its core, this is a reverb station that wants to build amazing, complex reverb sounds. So let's go back to the LVX for a second here. So you'll notice the controls are almost exactly the same. We've got our time, feedback, our two assignable encoders, modulation, which sounds amazing, mix, can go totally wet, and then our editing button. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to an initialized patch here. There we go. So this is an init patch on the LVX. So let's tap in a bit of tap tempo. Now both of these can take MIDI in and out to sync it to your track, but I like tapping in tempo for a little bit of human imperfection. There we go. So let's go ahead and build a patch on the LVX quickly, and I'm not going to go over everything because I have videos on both of these, but just to show you kind of what this pedal excels at versus its brother. So we'll start off by going into our delay. And for those of you who are wondering why I use the text view for videos, I just find it's easier to quickly get around, but I really like using the other graphic view when I'm just making sounds on my own with no time constraint. So we've got our different delay types here. Let's go ahead and change the delay structure, which is really cool. Reverse is absolutely classic, but I want poly. So poly is like the polymoon from Meris. It's this really beautiful modulated delay, and we can add in some dimension. Then let's go to our next page, our dynamics, and add in some diffusion. And while this is not reverb, it's very close to reverb. We're actually smearing the delay repeats across the spectrum. Sounds absolutely beautiful, right? So let's turn that down for now, just to go back to a more delay sound. And then let's add in a little bit of preamp. Let's try Bit Crush. We're gonna put that on our dry. So you can get really creative, right? Let's put a filter. Bandpass filter, spread it out so we get a wide stereo spectrum. Let's shift our pitch a little bit. Add some flanging And just like that, we have a really unique delay-based sound. So that's the kind of sound that the LVX would probably be geared towards. And again, I'm going really fast. Again, I urge you to watch my full videos on both of these amazing pedals. But as you can see, before we move quickly to the MercuryX, it's really a start with delay and then build from there type pedal. And you can build incredibly complex sounds like, granular sounds, stuttery sounds, sequence sounds. But at the end of the day, you really are getting the LVX if you want delay as your starting point. The MercuryX, on the other hand, if we enable here, is a reverb pedal at its core. So what we do here, again, similar controls. Instead of time, we've got delay, which is the length of the reverb, pre-delay, which is how much time it takes to kick in before the delay starts. Really, really powerful pre-delay here, which we can actually control feedback and make delay style sounds. I went into that in my full MercuryX video if you want to check that out. Then next up, we've got our styles of reverb. Sorry, lost my train of thought there. So just like how the LVX has the different types of reverb, magnetic, BBD, etc., the MercuryX has a whole bunch of different reverb algorithms that you can use as your starting point. So I personally love Cathedra, which is from the MercuryX, but I spend a lot of time on that one in my other video. So let's use Prism. This is another absolutely beautiful one. Listen to how that sounds on the piano. So we can control our modulation, speed. Let's make that a little bit slower. I love modulation. And then let's build a sound from there. Again, I'm not going to go too far into this, but let's build using a preamp, using a transistor preamp. Find a low-pass ladder filter, turn down the resonance. Make it sound all underwater. Cool pitch effects. Oh man, Meris does by far the best pitch effects. I usually really hate pitch effects on reverb and delay. And I don't know what kind of black magic they've done here, but they're just so good sounding. Listen to that. That's on the dry as well as the wet signal. And let's go ahead and grab vowel mod. Really cool. Let's put it on the feedback loop. No, I like it just on the pre. And there you go. So that is the kind of sound that I would probably create on the MercuryX. So let's move to guitar. Try out a different sound source here. So again, going through these, they can really do a lot of similar things, but hopefully that intro kind of made it clear what they both excel at. So, right, the MercuryX is a reverb pedal that can do almost anything beyond reverb, including delay. And the LVX is a delay pedal that can do almost anything beyond delay, including this sort of pseudo reverb with the diffusion and dimension controls. So let's check out some of these presets, because presets are super important. One really cool thing about the MercuryX is that it has what's called a hold modifier, where every single preset comes built in, where you press the preset hold modifier down and it changes the sound. You can assign hold modifiers for your own custom sounds on the LVX, which is awesome, but they don't come baked into most of the presets as far as I could tell, because that was added in a later firmware. Let's check out some of these presets. So starting again with the one I started off with, I just think it's amazing. Let's add some more modulation. Listen to that. And then we press the hold modifier. Wow. I could listen to this all day. Let's check out some more. Another really beautiful example of the quality of the pitching on both of these pedals. Again, top of their game. I think this is freezing it. Very cool. Let's move on. Oh, here's a good delay preset. Note, we do not have tap tempo on the MercuryX because it's not a delay pedal. So if that's important for you, I would go ahead and get the LVX if you're a guitar player who likes to tap things in. But remember, both of these pedals have MIDI, so if you're a studio player, you don't really need it. The spring reverb on the MercuryX is really great too. And the tremolo. Oh, great example. So both of these have different yet equally powerful lo-fi capabilities. Here's a good preset that showcases the lo-fi sound. And by holding it down, we reverse it. How cool is that? Let's see if we can find one more lo-fi one, then we'll move on to the LVX. Okay, how about this one for lo-fi? This is beautiful. It's a half-speed lo-fi pitch down reverb and delay with reverse. I could just literally listen to this all day, but there's our drag guitar again. Let's move on to the LVX and check out some of its presets. So let's do the same thing. Let's get out of our preset and start at the beginning. Man, the emulation of tape delay, all three delay types are great, but the Meris emulation of tape delay on the LVX is just fantastic. It's definitely the best one I've ever heard. Let's move on here. Really cool use of pitching in terms of semitones, which is really neat. Let's see if we can find... This is a very interesting one. Wow. Yeah, the reverse effects are incredible. Here's a good example of a reverb-like patch. If I crank up the feedback, it's gonna go crazy. Let's go full wet. Incredible, right? We've literally just turned our guitar loop into a pad. But let's move on and try to find a lo-fi one for the LVX, because I love the lo-fi on the LVX. There we go. Let's tap this in time. I love how warbly and modulated it is. And again, if you wanted to make it less modulated and less crazy, you can totally do that, right? So let's go ahead and find the tape delay parameters here. There you go. We made it less crazy. So you can use any of these presets as a great starting point and then move on from them. Let's find one more cool one on the LVX and then we'll move to our final sound source and play with a couple more. Oh, perfect. So this is unique to the LVX. The MercuryX cannot do granular, which is one of the coolest parts of the LVX. So we've got this whole granular parameter here, granulize, right? We can change the direction, Now we're going backwards, forwards, backwards. We can spread it all around the stereo spectrum. We can change it so it's only going to affect our delay. And what's really cool, if we combine this with pitching, we can get some really beautiful like microcosm style effects where, hang on tight, let's go up an octave. Some like mood or microcosm style effects. This is really what those pedals are doing, right? And we can just build it here ourselves. Absolutely amazing. I think if you love granular or anything to do with granular delay, granular synthesis, the LVX has got to be on your radar. I don't know of any other pedal that can do everything this can do and then also just has a fully featured granular engine. But let's move on to the synth pad. Oh, beautiful hearing that with the granular. Love it, but let's go back to the MercuryX and check out some more presets under the new context. One thing I've found is that a lot of the presets sort of err on the more experimental side. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. Let's try the hold modifier. I'm not sure what it's doing, but I like it. That's absolutely beautiful. I could, again, listen to this all day. So anyways, as I was saying, although a lot of these presets tend to favor experimental, the bread and butter ones sound absolutely great as well. Let's go back to some of the early ones to test out on the synth pad that we went over, because they're some of my favorites. Just incredible sounding reverb. Let's check out the delay one more time. So beautiful. Let's add some lo-fi modulation to this one, and then I think we'll hear everything together. Like, come on. Listen to that synth pad. Straight from some old VHS tape found in an attic somewhere. Beautiful. I think we're ready to put them together. So let's leave on this preset because I love it and bring back this deep blue preset. And then bring in our other elements. Let's take down the mix a bit on this tape one. Gorgeous. Again, if we take off both the effects, What a difference, eh? All right, well, that is where I'm gonna wrap things up for today. All right, so as much as I could just relax all night listening to that on loop, that's where I'm gonna wrap things up for today. I hope this video was helpful, and again, to reiterate what I said at the beginning, it really is impossible to pick a winner. These are absolutely two of my favorite pedals, if not my favorite pedals on the market right now, for how deep and powerful they are, yet how good they sound. Hopefully this helps you make your choice. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them, and happy music making. I'll see you in the next video.